One of challenge that most or the majority of PhD students face is transforming a dissertation chapter into a scholarly paper or article. And this is really a significant challenge. So picture this, that you could completed a chapter and you are happy with finishing it, and then suddenly your supervisor asked you to get it published. And here is the challenge, and there is different scenarios. Variety of PhD students can take it into account. One of them treat it as, okay, so what I need to do is to reduce the number of words. As you probably know, that is the size of dissertation chapter can be ranged between 10,000 and 15,000 words, while the scholarly papers can accept the range of 4,000 till 8,000 words. So from here on, you have a challenge to reduce the word of your work from 15,000 into 4,000 words. Some students go in a direction that they make, for instance, okay, try to reduce a little bit word from any direction. And if you don't have really a specific and professional plan for doing it, you will get lost. It is not about reducing the number of chapters and put it in a way as a scholarly paper. It has to be an entire transformation of the structure. And as well, you have to identify that the paper articles should be stand-alone, while chapter of your dissertation is a part from 3 or 4 parts of your dissertation. So this is a challenge. So you need to transfer what is really a part of many parts of your dissertation into a separate standalone piece of research. And I would give you some ideas in a way to transform somehow these chapters into scholarly papers. One of these stuff is you need to work a lot in 2 sections, particularly the introduction section and the discussion section. Introduction section, if you are writing a dissertation chapter, you used to write, for example, knowledge gap in 4th or 5th paragraph. But in terms of you need to transform it into a scholarly paper, so you need to put the gap as a first paragraph. You need to identify the contribution or the problem statement in first 2-3 sentences in this. However, when you frame this in your dissertation chapter, it can come second, third, fourth page. So here you have some kind of you need to prioritize this stuff somehow. So you bring early as possible knowledge gap, and then try to restructure it somehow, showing your readers the most important things, why they should care about your study in the first 2-3 sentences in the paper. So the second point is, in your dissertation chapters you write a lot. For example, you cover 20 years of literature review in your dissertation, while in scholarly articles you need only to find 6-7 the most significant study which helped you entirely to receive or to obtain the knowledge gap. So here is the trick, here is the twist. So you need to put a lot of, invest a lot of time, invest a lot of content for just putting scanning or screening of 20 years of literature, then only focus about 5 or 6 key previous research that helped you to detect somehow the knowledge gap. The same is true in discussion down. In discussion down, you probably discuss the result in chronicle, sequence. As it comes, you discuss it. However, in scholarly articles, you need to filter this and put what is the most significant study in your contribution as the beginning. For example, if your dissertation about literature review and then interview as a primary data collection, so you don't have to, and the interview comes with many points like descriptive results, which you or where you explain the participants' positions, experiences, ages, educational level. There is rather than presenting what we call it contextual data analysis, which comes to the main theme. One more point, if your chapters comes with 10 themes, your scholarly paper should come to 2 or 3 the most significant themes you came up with. So you try to reframe your study around the core result, but you need to restructure it. You need to prioritize things much more likely than dissertation chapter. So methodology, you have, if you are going to write methodology chapter in your dissertation, you have to spend a lot of times around justification of every single decision you have taken in methodology. However, in scholarly articles, you need only to mention about the methodology you selected and briefly explain why you selected. You don't have to explain everything, so you don't have to put every single justification for example, sampling size technique, sampling selection technique, data analysis technique, all of this stuff. You need to reduce the time a little bit, and the most interesting things is to focus what a scholarly journal actually focus. You need to have one paper which has been published before in the same journals and see how they go through methodology. You will find really it is briefly explained and listed. So you need to follow all of this stuff. One more thing helps you to transfer dissertation chapters into scholarly papers as a references by itself, and this is really tricky because you used to put a lot of references, which is important to convince your reviewer in dissertation or defense committee about why you select this and that and so on. While in the scholarly articles, you need only to cite the paper recommended by editors, because sometimes they are working on citation rate. So if you are going to publish in any scholarly journals, they would ask you to cite particular papers in a way that it can enhance their citation rate and so on. So while you write in dissertation any reference you consider it as beneficiary for the committee, you need to focus in journal on the other hand about the references recommended by editor, which is necessarily to use it to get published. So this is all the story. So remember this correctly. If you would like to publish dissertation chapters, it is not about reducing or trimming the words. It's about reconstructing it and prioritizing what is really important for the editors and for the journal scope.